Okay. Hello everybody. Hello everybody. Hello, hello, hello everybody. Hello everybody. I'm back. Yeah. Yeah, I know what it is. I know what it is. Oh. Okay, I'm going to play some music and then I'm going to talk. Tell you what it is, right? If I have the audio level low on the master sound card, okay, then I have to turn this sound card up, and that's where the noise comes from. So what I have to do is just turn that sound card up and turn that sound card down, because when that's turned up loud, that's where the noise comes from. That's a high quality sound card, that's a low quality sound card. You turn that up, you're going to get interference. Okay, right, we're back now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm tired, my back hurts, but who cares? I'm going to try and keep it nice and easy this evening. And I thought I would talk about this guitar, and I want to talk about some musical things that may be of interest. And I will also play a little. We'll see how it goes. I've got a track here that I haven't played yet. I'm just waiting for everybody to come back online, actually, because I quit this stream there. I maybe should have just kept streaming, but I want to see that Facebook is back online. If there's anybody watching on Facebook, let me know, and then I know that I'm reaching you all again. I presume I am. Let's play a bit. The streaming thing is it's many components. I could set up a stream and just talk to you, and I would have about a third of the technical stuff to take care of that I do now. But because I'm playing the guitar and doing these backing tracks, Danny Gatton, of course, because of the music, it's a lot, you know, it's just a couple of things, small things. But the thing is, I know what the problems are these days. So before I play, I want to talk about the Telecaster a little bit, because, or maybe I'll play first. I'll play. Okay, this one's called "The Seeds of My Own Destruction." Or the seeds of my destruction, the seeds of my own destruction. I wrote it quite a few years ago. It's on Promises. I think it's on Promises. Or is it on Note to Self? And it's about having the ability, everywhere I go, a friend of mine said, everywhere I go, I carry with me the seeds of my own destruction. It's about addiction, basically. Note to self, thank you very much. I'm going to play it, and then maybe I'll talk about it. Okay. Thank you. The reverse guitar in the middle of that, you can hear all of this reverse guitar going on. That was from a gig. I recorded it on my loop pedal. It was an improvisation at a pub in Byker, Newcastle. The gig's called the Cumberland Arms. And when I brought the loop pedal back, it was still on the pedal, and it was still on the pedal. So I put it into the computer and I reversed it, and so that's that middle section where everything drops out is built around an improvisation which is reversed from a live acoustic gig. So I thought I would talk about the Telecaster. Let's see if my tea's got any heat left in it. That track I programmed everything. I programmed the drums, and thank you, Steve. I programmed the drums and everything on that track, and lots of work. I've had enough of programming drums. I don't program drums anymore. I don't really program drums anymore. I have and I may, but I much prefer to record drummers these days. It's actually easier than programming them, you know. If you've got a good drummer and you've got good mics and good preamps, it's easier to record a good drummer than it is to program a drum machine or drum software. Regardless of how good the software may sound, it'll never sound as good as a drummer. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the Telecaster for a little while, if you would allow me. Shall we have a look at the Charlie cam? There he is. Same old, same old. It's camera shy. Making him a world famous superstar, and he doesn't care. Okay, so the Telecaster. I think let's talk about the Telecaster and why it's important. It's important to me, and it's important to a lot of people, and it's misunderstood by a lot of people. Archie Brown always used to say to me that a Telecaster was a man's guitar, and I have to agree. The Telecaster was kind of the first real electric guitar. I mean, you had the Strat, the Telecaster, and the Les Paul all come out in the 50s, in that decade. Extremely important decade for the electric guitar. And everything there's been a lot more guitars come out since. But, you know, the Strat, the Tele, and the Les Paul are the ones that have always stayed true. And the interesting thing is that there was no benchmark. There was no, like, Jeff Beck or Gary Moore or Eric Clapton. Yes, of course I could contemplate living anywhere else other than Newcastle, Robert. I've lived in Germany, I've lived in America, I've spent time in these places. You know, I lived in London for a long time. Love London, best city in the world. Don't shoot me. Yes, of course. So the Telecaster come along, and I think, if I understand it, I've heard this said, and I kind of agree with it. And when I think about it, I do agree with it. The sound of the electric guitar, or the sound of country, which is where the Telecaster landed, was the pedal steel. You know. So, you know, the pedal steel was around before the Telecaster, and that was the guitar that everybody was using in country music. There's recordings of a guy called Speedy West, who's like the Steve Vai of the pedal steel, 1936. Recordings from 1936. And this guy's doing all of this on the tone and the, you know, he's doing all of that. You find him on YouTube. There's very little footage of him because he was kind of before television, but there is some footage there of Speedy West. And so, you know, Leo Fender brings out the Telecaster, and the sound of country was the pedal steel. So you have a lot of country players get their hands on a Telecaster, and what they want to do is they want to emulate the pedal steel. Okay, so for those of you who don't know how the pedal steel works, let me say right out of the gate, I can't play a pedal steel. I cannot play a pedal steel. A pedal steel, I think, has 27 pedals and levers, right? That you move the levers with your knees and you move the pedals with your feet. And what it does is it changes the tune. And so obviously, if you're playing with a bar like that, if you've got an iron bar which is straight, you can't make a chord like that out of an iron bar. So what you have to do is you have to change the tuning of the guitar live with pedals and levers. It's a fantastically complicated piece of machinery, and there's people who can really play it. Speedy West is one, and there's others. And I'm sure if you Googled Speedy West or YouTubed Speedy West, you would find more fantastic pedal steel players whose names I can't remember. But so you get this thing where, so if I play this open G like this on a pedal steel, I would press a pedal you see. So if I play this A chord, that's basically how it sounds. It's a familiar sound. So it's like playing a chord and then mimicking that sound of the pedal moving the one string. Jimmy Bryant and Speedy West. So the sound of the telly kind of comes, I think, the original sound of the telly, not just this. You know, there's a lot of jazz players. Jimmy Bryant was a very jazzy player, more jazzy than a country player, really, if you think about it. But certainly a lot of the country sound comes from telly players emulating the pedal steel. Whoa, tuning's slipping a bit. It's a lovely thing. So that's kind of a theory I have about how the sound of the telly evolved. So if you think of playing a chord, you tune the chord with your feet and your knees with these pedals and these levers, and you would tune the strings. You're changing the tune in almost every bar, or every, you know, sometimes several times within a bar. So if you're gonna, you've got your controls, your pedals and your levers, and you tune it to E. And then you move one. might find that interesting. Gonna play another tune. Let me just check something here, folks, because I've gone astray there. See. Yeah, check your tuning. Oh! Tell you a story about guitar tuners. I was doing a gig at Newcastle University many years ago. I was 16 years of age. Paul Goosens was playing drums. Harry Goosens was playing drums. A band called the R&B Spitfires, or the Spitfires. And I never used a tuner before. And the first time I ever used a tuner, I didn't. You know, the thing lit up and told me it was in tune, and I thought, oh, it's in tune. More about tuning in a minute. Hello, God. And I got up and I played the first chord, and it was like, and I thought, well, the tuner told me that the guitar was in tune because all the little lights lit up, and it was that bad. And I had a phobia about tuners for years after that, which I've kind of got over. Let's see what we've got here. As Anita, my old friend from school, Anita, wants chilled stuff. That's exactly what you're going to get, Anita, because I'm too tired to rock. I'm doing very good, Jim. Nice to hear from you. Whoa. What we've got. That'll do. yeah, that's just to keep a simple piece of you know, music, which is what it's all about at the end of the day. Okay, talking about tuning. Be interesting to see what I want to ask your opinion on this. I'm going to ask your opinion, but I'm going to jettison it as soon as you give it. Yeah, I'm gonna disregard your opinion as soon as you give it, because my mind's already made up and you can't change it. Tuning 440 or 432. Some of you may have heard about this. I'll answer that at another time, because I'm kind of in mid flow. I want to discuss. Maybe after I've done this next segment, I can talk about. When you're talking about the hybrid guitars, you're talking about the LSLs. I haven't played any of them. If you are 440, 432. I'm going to show you something, ladies and gentlemen. All guitar tuners default to 440. Okay, they all default to 440 hertz. Now, what I'm going to show you here is a picture of a glass of water standing on top of a speaker with a light shining across it. The Telly Strap Morph guitars. Haven't tried them, Billy. I haven't tried them. I'll have to look into them. I'm kind of settled with my guitars, to tell you the truth, and I'm a bit hardcore. Strats, Tellys, Les Pauls, maybe a 335 here and there, possibly a Gibson Firebird or a Gibson Flying V. I'm a what's the word? I'm a traditionalist. I think it's done. I think Fender and Gibson had done it by 1962, and everything else has been a retread. I don't think there's much congratulation to be had for reinventing this Fender Stratocaster. Put the pickups on the other way around. I put the headstock on upside down like Hendrix. I mean, running out of ideas, to say the least. Okay, so this picture is a glass of water. Okay, and that is standing on top of a speaker, and it has a frequency. If the note of A is being played through the speaker, and that is how the water vibrates, and the note of A is tuned to 440 hertz. Now, this next picture is the same glass of water on the same speaker, and it's having the A played through it, but it's tuned to 432. Can you see the difference? Can you see the difference? How that water is vibrating to 432 hertz, and that water is vibrating to 440 hertz. Now, I've seen a lot of people dismiss this, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, of course. And yeah, 432 is. I think 432 is. It's a subtle difference, but it is a difference. You know, a subtle difference can be a huge difference. You know, a subtle difference can be a huge difference. Just because it's subtle, it doesn't mean to say it's not making a massive difference. That's 440. That's what we're all being encouraged to tune to. That's 432. Okay, so I'll just follow. I'll just repeat. This is a glass of water standing on top of a speaker with the note of A being played through the speaker. Okay. And that is 440 A. Right. You can see that it wants to vibrate at 432. Okay. It wants to vibrate at 432. Now, What else have I got in my little box of tricks? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you about. Okay, let's listen. Let's have enough of me talking. Okay, I'm going to play you 2 recordings that I did an hour or so ago, 2 hours ago. One guitar is tuned to 432. It's the same guitar. At one point it's tuned to 432, and at the next time it's tuned to 440. The first one is 432, and I'm kind of playing D, C, A, and a couple of E minor inversions. This is 432. That's 432. Okay. Now, what I want you to listen to next, it's the same thing, tuned to 440. Okay. I'll tell you what would be an interesting thing to do. So this is 440. Now I'm just talking for a minute because I want to cleanse your palate. I don't want you to hear, because I don't want you to just hear that, oh, that's sharper. That's 440 is sharper than 432. I don't want you to hear that that's the difference, because that's not the difference. The difference is infinitely subtle and truly beyond belief. This is 440. Okay, now let's go back to 432. And let's look at 432 while we're listening to it. Correct. Okay. Let's go back to 440. Now, in my opinion, to my ear, and I've worked a lot on music, and I've listened to a lot of music, and I've produced a lot of music. To my ear, the 440, the sharper one, is cold, it's sharp, it's harsh. Yeah, it's 432 is where we're supposed to be at, boys and girls. Yeah, now it's a third of a semitone. It's nothing. It's nothing. You don't feel it in the string tension. You know, it does not have any major effect on the physical tension of the guitar or the feeling in the strings. 432 has a better sustain, and there's a reason for that, Billy. There's a reason for 432, because the frequency, the frequency of 432 resonates better, so there's no clash. There's no clash, and that clash kills the sustain. I hope you understand that. Now, this is my instinct talking here. This is not scientific, but that's scientific. That's definitely scientific, you know. So, yeah, 432, it's a third flat. It's a third flat. Yeah, more colour and dissonance. Now, I'm going to tell you one more thing. I'm going to tell you one more thing about this 432, and then I'll move on to another track. Let's look at 440. let's look at 440 and let's listen to 440. Okay. Now let's go to 432. Listen, you can hear all of the notes in the chord. Every note. It's a massive improvement, Ray. Every note in that chord is shaking hands with the other note. You can count the notes in the chord individually. There's no pitch shifting on it. It's two different tunings, and I think that is a guitar tuned differently physically. There's no pitch shifting happening. Now, the one thing that I wanted to say was, the last thing I'm going to say about this before I move on, is that when I discovered this 432, I looked at it, and I thought it was interesting. So I started to work in 432, and it didn't take me long, and I got very, very, very hooked on the 432. Now, all of my YouTube videos up to a point in time were 440. Okay, so 440, and then I went to 432 in all of my YouTube videos. Yeah, 432 was warmer, no doubt about it. Now, what I noticed was, in the comments of the videos pre and post 440, 432, the tone, if you pardon the pun, the tone of the comments changed. And the 440 comments tended to be about gear, technique. I still get questions about gear and technique, but after I went to 432, the tone of the questions and the comments about the music was about how the listener was engaging, as opposed to technical jargon. Okay, it was like, I can listen to that all day, I've got it on loop. You know, people were being kind of, you know. And I'll just tell you this last thing. I was working with John Bundrick, Rabbit Bundrick, the organ player, and he played on the last stuff that I did that was 440. He put Hammond organ on it and piano. And he was with The Who for 30 years. And I asked him about 432, and he said that, very interestingly enough, he came back and he said that Pete Townsend had paid somebody to tune the Hammond organ to 432. Now, do I rest my case? Do I rest my case? Pete Townsend's paying people to detune the Hammond B3 to 432 from 440 because he can dig it. I can dig it. Bob Marley tuned flat, Hendrix tuned flat, and there is a theory that Mozart was tuning to 432. I guess that's something that we'll never know for sure. Interesting. I hope you enjoyed me talking about that. And I've seen people shouting and screaming about this. Heavy metal guy, I saw a heavy metal guy shouting and screaming about how tuning to 432. He's literally shouting and screaming. I mean, shouting and screaming. Which begs the question, if you're going to shout and scream about something, do you have the sensitivity to tell the difference between 432 and 440? Because 432 is not for shouting and screaming. So everything I do is in 432. If possible. Some recordings. No, tune everything to 432. You can tune your keyboards down to 432. You can tune your bass down to 432. You just find the this is for Dirk Rogan. Dirk, you just change your well, you know, gunpowder tea. You've kind of said it, my friend. I didn't want to say it. You've said it for me. Thank you very much. We all know how bitter and nasty some people can be on YouTube and the internet comments. but you just tune to 432. Like I say, if you're using any instrument, look for the 440, detune it. It's not, you don't bring it down in semitones. Yeah, it's 432, case closed. You don't bring it down in semitones. It's the it's increments. It's a percent of a semitone, and it's 33% flat. It's a third of a semitone flat. 33.3, 333. There's those threes in a row again. There's no escape the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Don't bother attacking me because I'm not interested. Okay, I'm going to play some music. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. Let me just have a little rummage through the box of tricks. Just to respond to those comments, Anita, don't worry about it, Anita. It's just the pleasure of listening to music, and I have a habit of detuning my guitars nowadays. Yeah, well, you know, Hendrix was tuning flat instinctively. You know, he instinctively tuned flat. He went down. Okay, this is all 432. Everything I do here is 432. Okay, so just give me a moment, folks. I'm going to play a bit. Right. Okay, folks. The picture on the wall, my friend, is the great John Cleese of Monty Python, and this is him in the character of Basil Fawlty from Fawlty Towers, probably the greatest British comedy of all time. Don't hold me to it. 4, 3, 2. Okay, folks. I'm going to wind it up, ladies and gentlemen, because, well, that's been an hour, and I try to keep them to an hour. And I'm using Amplitude 4. Just as a quick, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's go to the Charlie cam. We'll go to the Charlie cam. There he is. You're on the telly, son. Everybody's watching you. Everybody's looking at you. Correct. I'm using the main computer there for the audio. I'm controlling the software with this Akai thing. And this laptop is what I'm streaming with. It's very disconcerting having him sitting looking at you all the time. All the time. He's sitting looking at us. Yeah, Amplitude 4 IK Multimedia. Okay, folks, I think I'll probably wind it up now, but I might do a bit of shred before we say night night. Yeah, let's have a look at this. I'm just going to find this backing track, folks. Thanks, folks. David, I'll be delighted to come and play at the Brass Nose Arms in Crop Roddy once again. Anytime you're ready, my friend. I'll drop the email. I'll drop an email to the governor, and if you're in there, mention it to him. I've got a great trio at the moment. I've got a beast of a trio for the lower half of the country. We played at, we did our first gig with, at the, see how the brain becomes scrambled. The Jazz and Blues Festival, Congleton Jazz and Blues Festival, south of Manchester, a few weeks ago. Great drummer from Manchester, and the mighty Andy Champion from the northeast, and we had a good old time. And I'm looking for gigs to get that band back out there because we all enjoyed it so much. It was one of the most satisfying trio gigs I've done in a long time. Okay, hi Jim, how you doing, my friend? Jim, I'm going to play a little something. That's our friend Ted McKenna playing drums, Jim, on that last track. Okay, bit of information. Next week, I'm going to be playing in Scotland, Friday and Saturday. Ken Ross, yes, he's just said it. Ken Ross, Friday. And then the Isle of Bute off the west coast of Scotland on Saturday. And I'll be travelling back from Scotland on the Sunday. It's unlikely that I'll be streaming like this next Sunday, okay? Because I maybe stop and do something on the phone and just say hello, just to keep the 7 o'clock Sunday night thing going. And then the weekend after that, I'm playing up on the Orkney Islands, off the very, very top of the Scottish Highlands, where civilization ends. I'm not saying civilization ends in Orkney. When you go, there's nothing past Orkney until you get to Greenland. So that's going to be impossible for me to stream like this again then. And then the weekend after that, I'm back in London, playing at the Pentameters Theatre in Hampstead. So I'm gigging the next 3 weekends, and Sundays are going to be absorbed by travel and exhaustion. So I will try, possibly what I'll do is I'll stream midweek, okay? So Sundays are out for the next 2 or 3 weeks, but look out for midweek streams, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, something like that. I'll fit something in. I'll maybe make a little banner to put on Instagram and Facebook and what have you. So that's it. We're done. Thank you very much for tuning in. You could be good enough to drop a tip in the tip jar. If you want to drop a tip in the tip jar, you're more than welcome. Paul Rose Music on PayPal. Or, that's, whatever. Don't want to force the point. My pleasure, everybody. I'm going to hit the good night button. I'm going to hit the night button. And then it's all going to disappear. I'll see you all soon. I've got a busy week this week. I'm going to be doing some stuff. Enough. Okay. Thanks very much, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your kind words. I appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed it. And see you next time. We shall be soon. Thanks. Bye.